The following presentation was made possible by supporters like you. Consider making an impact today by honoring Science for Georgia with a gift, or by joining our Catalyzer network. Thank you, and enjoy.
All right, hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Michael, and
I'm Daniel.
This is Daniel. And today we're gonna tell you a bunch of stuff about ice cream. Who likes ice cream? Everybody. Wow, this is a biased sample. I like ice cream. I guess that's everybody. So, we're gonna answer questions about what ice cream is.
Yep. And now that we've got some stretching just about done, here we go.
Ice cream! Ice cream! Oh! Oh, I need it! Oh, ice cream! Oh! 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 Oh, it hurts! Oh! Oh, what's happening to me? Oh! Oh. Wow, I feel way better. That's incredible. What is this? What is in this?
I'm sure we can all relate to my fine colleague Michael's curiosity here. I mean, ice cream is amazing, but what is it? And what is it made out of? Maybe we can help him out. Can anyone in the audience tell me what some of the ingredients in ice cream is? By hand? Shout them out. I hear milk. What else? Sugar. Everyone loves the sugar. I'm gonna call them extras. In the bolo tie.
Cold?
Cold is not an ingredient, Michael. Can someone else help me out? Any other ingredients in ice cream? Eggs sometimes. Ooh, very. The French style of ice cream. Amazing. Anything else? We've got milk, sugar, eggs. What was that? Cream? Yes, I thought you said beans, and I was gonna say probably not.
What?
Ice. There's always a clever one. Yeah. What you got there, Michael?
Delicious?
Delicious, that's right. And actually, there's one extra mystery ingredient, which is totally different from all these. Can anyone guess what it is? Over there. Air. Air in ice cream. Air? Says the man in the science y'all shirt. That's right. Let's take this set of ingredients and let's try to figure out, in a typical bowl of ice cream, like what percentage do we think each of these ingredients are? I've just taken what you shouted out at me and rearranged them a little bit. So does anyone want to give me a guess? In a bowl of ice cream, what percentage of each spoonful is just like water and ice? 25%, okay. That's on the low side. 50% is on the high side. We've perfectly bracketed it. It's typically around 28 to 45% just water and ice. Amazing. Okay, how much of ice cream is made out of sugar? It's so sweet, right? It's gotta be a lot. 30%, that's not gonna leave a whole lot for all the rest of our ingredients, is it? All right, anyone else want to guess? 5%, okay. Too high and too small, that's how it always goes. It's around like 6 to maybe 11% on a good day. Okay, we all know that like milk and cream, a key component in ice cream. So what about things like how much milk fat there is in ice cream, and then also how much kind of other milk solids there might be? 20% total is exactly right. Oh my gosh, for milk fat you have around, I don't know, also 6 to 11%, and for milk solids it's a little bit around the 5 to 10%. Actually, legally, to be called ice cream in the United States, the total amount of these two things has to be 20%. Isn't that interesting? What do we have left? Oh yeah, flavorings. And I don't mean the extra like mix-ins and cookie dough and whatnot, but I mean things like, oh, if you're having vanilla ice cream, there's probably a little vanilla in there. If you're having chocolate ice cream, there's probably some chocolate flavoring. This is just a tiny amount of what goes into ice cream. Tiny amount, as are some of these other chemicals that we'll talk about pretty soon, also about 1%. And then how much air do you think is in ice cream? Very clever. That's right, 30 to 50%. Holy
30
cow.
to 50
Is just air
of my ice
of
cream?
your ice cream.
The ice cream she paid good money for? This is, all right, well.
Now that we know kind of a rough sense of what all the ingredients in ice cream are, and we know how much ice cream is made up of each of these things, let's just, let's think about like what type of substance each of these ingredients are, right? Are they solids? Are they liquids? Are they gases? Things like that. And these are going to be the building blocks that we use to understand what ice cream as a whole is.
Sounds interesting.
Okay, so let's start out easy. What is water? Is water a solid, a liquid, or a gas? It's a liquid. What about ice? Solid. Oh, nice. So we've got these as liquids and solids. Awesome. What about sugar? That's right. But you know, it's going to be sugar dissolved in liquids. So it's a solid, but dissolved into a liquid form. So it's solid, but really a liquid.
Yeah.
Okay, what about milk fat? Anyone have a sense of whether that's, yeah, you know, and it's gonna depend on what temperature it is. So at room temperature, the milk fats would be actually just kind of like coconut oil, kind of just liquid, just solid. In ice cream, it's cold enough that those will be kind of also mostly solid, but a little bit liquidy. Anyone want to take a stab at milk solids?
No.
It's a solid. Flavor, emulsifiers, those are just things that are dissolved in liquids too, so those are liquids. And air? Air's a gas, that's right. Okay, so we see these are the components of ice cream, and these are what type of matter each of those components are.
Okay, all right.
What are you thinking?
I'm looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling it out.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of liquid. I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing a lot of liquid hiding in the ice cream, right? I'm thinking ice cream's pretty much just a liquid. What we've got, I figured it out.
Okay.
I thought for at least 30 seconds about this.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cream is just cream, it's just milk. I'm gonna choose
The most important ingredient.
chocolate milk because I'm right.
And notice how the liquid, this milk, is forming to the shape of the bowl. It's one of the defining characteristics of a liquid material.
Look at that. Give it a little slosh, it fits right in there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even leave any room on the side. That's amazing. All right, cool, let's compare.
What if I have ice cream? Oh, yes. A sweet, sweet ice cream.
we see that ice cream does not form to the shape of its container. I guess ice cream is not a liquid, Michael.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. That's good, though. That was tasty. Don't do what I do, kids. That's gross. Wash your hands. All right. Fine. It's not a liquid.
Okay.
It's not a liquid. It's a solid. It's got to be just basically a solid. When I think about solid, I know the answer. I know what solids are like. Solids are like this. Solids are like that, right?
Yeah.
Solids are like Jell-O.
See, Jell-O is what's known as an elastic solid. And you'll see that as Michael is jiggling that green blob around, it keeps its own shape and also kind of returns to its original shape once he stops playing with his food.
So, let's find out. Is that what ice cream is?
All right, got some more ice cream in that
More. I want more.
bowl. Yeah, I mean, more
I'm
is always the
hungry.
right answer.
It's been a long day. So much activities. You know, when I jiggle this. Oh.
Surprising nobody, the ice cream does not go back to its original shape once Michael stops playing with his food.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
I didn't see that coming. So you're saying, all right, it's not like Jell-O. It's not like one of these solid materials. It's not like an elastic something, rubber. It's not a crock. I don't know.
Nice shoe.
But so then, if I really think about it, what's right in the word? It must be ice. We had tons of water. We had ice. Ice cream. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's just ice, right? It's just ice. It's just like this stuff. Huh?
I mean, someone said normal solid.
I can't make this go back to any other shape. But what do I like to do with ice? Ice just makes me so mad. I think, I just gotta get rid of this ice. Who wants me to hit this ice with me? All of you? All right, I'm gonna do it. Ah! That was great. What happened?
So, Michael, what is ice?
Well, it's like that.
That's exactly right. So, what's going on is when you have like a normal crystalline solid, all of the atoms that are making up that solid are arranged in like a perfect repeating pattern, kind of like this, although in 3 dimensions because I can't draw very well. And so what's going on is when you apply too much force to a crystalline solid, these perfect planes of atoms will get broken somewhere along, like wherever the weakest link is, right? And actually, there's lots of different ways that the individual atoms can be arranged, making different crystal structures. And the different crystal structures, when you apply force, they all break in different ways. Actually, it's almost like by hitting it with a hammer and looking how jagged is it, how flat does it shatter into, what do all the little pieces look like, you can use that information to identify what kind of crystal the atoms were in. It's almost like that hammer is an atomic microscope.
This hammer?
That hammer.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I can figure out just like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Unreal. Well, all right. So, since I clearly nailed it in saying that ice cream was ice, it must also shatter into pieces. So I'm gonna use my microscope, and I'm gonna find out about ice cream. We need more.
The wiser among us will just maybe stand over here.
It's Saturday. Who thinks it's gonna shatter? Who's that? All right. It's definitely gonna shatter. I've done this 100 times. Oh! It rhymes with shatter. Who got that joke?
I don't get it.
That's a rhyming joke.
Gotta watch where I'm stepping now.
All right. It didn't shatter. It's not ice.
It's not ice.
I concede. It's not ice like that. It's not a liquid. And it's not Jell-O, which we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So it must be something about the combination of these things, right? It's got to be that it's not just one, but it's a little of each, right? It's got to be. So I think if I just put them all together, right? What do I got? I got milk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're making ice cream today. Let's see, we need ice. It's right in the title. We're gonna put some ice in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Love it.
We said 30 to 50%.
That's 28 to 45%.
28 to 4. I was way off. What?
Science.
Yeah. All right. We need sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Without sugar, this is gonna be weird. You know we need the sugar. You put a lot of that in there. Don't be shy. When you're at home, don't be shy. That is 23.2% sugar. Go to school, you can do that by hand. Oh yeah. What's ice cream without cream? Okay. This is starting to look exactly like ice cream.
Looking pretty good.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
Let's give it a little stir here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe you need to let it cool for a while.
You think?
I mean,
Cold.
yeah. That was your
gotta be,
ingredient.
what am I thinking? It's gotta be cold. Yeah, it's gotta be cold. Okay. Because I'm not eating that. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. Now let's all just spend time for an hour.
Yeah.
1 hour later.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we all got to know each other so well over that hour that we just spent together. No. This isn't looking like,
Something still seems off. You
no.
can give it a try, but
Well,
yeah.
I'll give it a whirl. That's chocolate milk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know chocolate milk. I've had it. Nope. Okay. So what's going on here?
I don't know, like, what do we think? Michael has all the ingredients for ice cream. What's going on? What's he missing? He didn't do air.
Air!
Yeah, how's he gonna get air in there?
They keep tricking me with the air.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. If only I had a straw so I could really get the air in there.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's going on?
You know, so it turns out it's not just having all of the right ingredients that makes ice cream ice cream. It's the way that they're all put together, the way that they're actually all structured.
That's gotta be it.
That's got to be it.
It's gotta be how it's put together. It's gotta be the structure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds right hard. That sounds difficult. I don't know how am I gonna turn that? I can't do this. What I'm gonna do, I'm getting all confused. I'm getting all worked up. I'm gonna do what I do on a Saturday when I'm confused and I'm worked up, I'm gonna make some mayonnaise. We all know what it's like. It's Saturday night, confused about how materials work. I'm gonna get out some eggs. Oops. I'm gonna get out some eggs. I need a 2-egg.
Notice, by the way,
mayonnaise.
the eggs are like a liquid. You know, they're forming to the shape of the bowl. Let's keep that in mind. Swirl
That's
them around.
important.
It's important.
Wow, that's really important. You're very right. I'm really excited about the mayonnaise right now. So I'm just gonna go right for it here. Oh yeah, wow. That's really working really well there. It's already working, oh my goodness. Wow, it's almost, wow. Oh my goodness. Mayonnaise! What? I'm not surprised. I just said I do this every Saturday, okay? This is a funky substance. Daniel, you've opened my eyes. Now I'm looking at mayonnaise in a whole new light. I'm seeing a lot more than I ever did before.
So, one of the things that's amazing that Michael has just done is started with 2 liquids, eggs and oil, and turned it into something that has solid-like properties. I mean, look, I'm not an experimentalist, but I too can jiggle some mayonnaise, I suppose. Like, the mayonnaise holds its own shape, right? Just like a solid would. And this type of solid is called an emulsion. So by mixing the 2 together really rapidly, what's happened is that all of the oil has formed and broken up into these tiny little bubbles, these tiny little droplets, suspended in a liquid, that liquid being this like watery, eggy mixture, right? Now in this case, the egg proteins go ahead and coat the bubbles of oil, and it's just like these balloons. Hit me up with one of those balloons, and how about that balloon too? Thank you. So, the gas inside these balloons is like the little droplets of oil. The balloon shell itself, that's like the egg protein. And just like these balloons, when those droplets of oil get close together, they can support forces and like knock each other around and hold their own shape.
Oh.
Thank you. Amazing. And so, even though mayonnaise is made out of 2 liquids, because they're 2 liquids that are organized in the right way, they can support forces and behave as if they're a solid.
No way.
Way.
You can just make a solid out of liquids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I surely didn't know that before right now. All right. Now that I finished my bowl of mayonnaise, I'm so full.
Please don't eat mayonnaise straight.
Don't do anything like I do. Now it's time to do the dishes. We need to get our soaps. I have special soap that I really like. It just smells so nice. Oh, yes, perfect. A little bit of that. We do the dishes right after we finish eating, don't we? That's right. We all do the dishes right after we eat. We need water. Oh, I love doing the dishes. Now, the fastest way to do your dishes, of course, as we all know, is using a hand mixer. So, let's go ahead and get ourselves a little action there. Whoa. Whoa! What am I seeing? Something's growing out of my liquid! Something's building! What's all this white stuff? Foam! In all my years of doing dishes! Whoa! What is this? I'm just gonna listen. Oh, nice.
So look at this. this is like even more amazing. Michael has started with not just two liquids, a liquid and a gas, and made something that has solid-like properties. It kind of jiggles around, it holds its own shape. Unbelievable. A gas and a liquid mixed together in just the right way, and it behaves like a solid.
Of all things.
Of all the
Of
things.
all the things.
Right? And actually, in a lot of ways, this is a lot like what we just saw with these emulsions. So emulsions are liquids in liquids, behaving like solids. Foam is a gas in a liquid, behaving like a solid. And before, we had the egg proteins acting as what's called emulsifiers, holding the things together. In foams, we have things called surfactants. And of course, it's another foam. Look at that. It's holding its shape. It's it's kind of, don't know. I'm just gonna stay over here on my side.
I missed the spot.
Yeah, but of course you know that gases can act like solids because again, it's exactly like these balloons. The surfactants act to stop the gas from escaping, and then when these two little gas bubbles get close to each other, just like two balloons squeezing on each other, they can start supporting forces, acting like a solid.
Wow. So you can just build a solid out of not solid stuff.
That's exactly right. You can build solids out of solids or liquids or even gases.
Somebody needs to send an email to all the architects, start building our buildings out of liquids and gases. Come on. It's a great idea.
Great idea.
No, maybe that's a bad idea. No, I don't think we should do that. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm really blown away by all this. It's like the structure of all these things is really just chasing me all around my my little kitchen here.
Yeah.
And I just, I feel like I just need to unwind, take it down a notch.
Oh, you've already had a
At the end
bowl
of
of
the day,
mayonnaise.
I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal.
Nice.
And we all know that when we have cereal, what we like to do is we like to pour our cereal in around a Powerade Ultra bottle. It's just how we eat cereal in the world of normal people.
Don't you dare.
If you don't eat your cereal like this, then why not? I'm gonna eat all this cereal right now in front of everybody, and it's gonna be super great. Cereal, if there's one thing I know, cereal is solid, okay? And I know that.
So one of the things that you might have just noticed is that even though cereal is made out of solids, the collection of cereal kind of behaved like a liquid. Michael was able to pour it out of the box, just like pouring a liquid, and then he was able to lift this Powerade bottle that he put in there for some reason away, and the cereal flowed back around the bottle as he was pulling it out, forming to the shape of its container. And forming to the shape of its container is one of those things that kind of characterizes liquid-like behavior, even though it's a liquid made out of Apple Jacks?
That's right, Apple Jacks.
Nice.
Try them, they're delicious. All right, they're not a sponsor. They're just really, really good. All right, so now I'm just overwhelmed. I think I'm gonna do this again. I gotta see this again. I'm so inspired. I'm so blown away right now. And I love cereal. I'm doing this again, but this time, just for excitement's sake, just for fun, I'm just gonna tap the side of this for a little while. Just gonna tap it a little bit. Just gonna tap this for a little while. I need everybody to believe with me. So I'm not telling you what's about to happen, but this is actually really hard.
That's right. What he's doing,
No, I have no idea.
as he taps so gently, is little by little, those grains of cereal are settling a little bit, making the whole thing just a little bit denser, putting the grains of cereals just a little bit closer together as he oh so delicately keeps tapping on the side of this. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's not my fault. You didn't believe with me. All right, I'm gonna try one more time. And we all gotta really believe this time. Believe. And I just want to say, I believe in all of you. I think that's important to, all of you people, really outstanding. Whatever your goals are in the next day, I'm gonna think really hard about how much I believe in you. And I do. Okay. This is gonna be the time. Apple Jacks.
Again, not a sponsor.
Again, not a sponsor. I'm almost scared to do it.
All right, you and me both. Hey!
Apple Jacks is now a sponsor because of that. No, they're not. I'm kidding. That's not true.
That's right. Nicely done. So what we just watched is just the Apple Jacks could flow and behave like a liquid, even though the Apple Jacks are solid. Or if they get dense enough, they can kind of band together and act themselves like a bigger solid. And what's going on is as these definitely Apple Jack shaped grains get packed in and jammed together, they start supporting each other directly and making these eventually chains of force that can span through the whole system, allowing Michael to lift that Powerade bottle and the Apple Jacks with it, as if it was buried in cement.
It's like how you all just supported me. That's so beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm overwhelmed.
So we see that ice cream, we have one of our delicious little blobs of ice cream, is actually a foam made of lots of little bubbles of air, 30 to 50%, as we learned at the beginning, together with an emulsion made out of all of these milk fat from the cream and milk, together with a suspension of lots of tiny ice crystals percolating all throughout this delicious ice cream, all in a background of sweet, sweet sugar water, all in a delicious waffle cone brought to you by butter and cream.
Wow.
You can tell you don't pay me for my artistic skills.
I think it's beautiful. And I am absolutely blown away. I didn't see any of this coming. We didn't rehearse any of this beforehand in any manner. This is just what I do every Saturday.
That's right. So that's what an ice cream is. It is a combination: emulsion, foam, suspension.
It's everything.
It's an unusual type of solid, and it is the most delicious solid I think any of us know.
It's delicious.
That's right.
Dang. All right. Well, I feel very educated. Who else feels like they learned a little something today? You all. Beautiful. All right. Well, I want to first of all thank all of you for coming and for being a part of this, believing in us, listening. I want to thank Science for Georgia for setting all this up. Incredible. Absolutely wonderful. All right. Thanks, everybody.